29 out of 31 indicted defendants have pleaded guilty in a 5-year investigation into a scheme to fraudulently obtain COVID-19 unemployment benefit led by SCDC inmates along with family members and friends outside the prison system. Evidence presented in court revealed that incarcerated inmates harvested personal information, such as social security numbers and dates of birth, from other inmates and used the information to apply for COVID unemployment benefits in the names of those inmates as well as themselves. Some inmates provided their details willingly to the named defendants in exchange for a portion of the proceeds derived from the unemployment benefits. Other inmates had no knowledge that unemployment benefits were being applied for on their behalf. The incarcerated defendants also obtained the information of unwitting individuals outside of the Department of Corrections using various extortion schemes. One of the primary schemes utilized by the defendants was known as Johning. Using contraband cell phones within the Department of Corrections, inmates posed as younger males or females and lured individuals to send them nude or compromising photos. After obtaining the photos, the inmates used a second line feature on their contraband cell phones and contacted the victim posing as law enforcement. The inmates then extorted the victims into sending them money and or photos of their social security cards and driver's license. After the defendants applied for unemployment benefits in the names of the extortion victims and Department of Corrections inmates, the benefits were diverted to the incarcerated defendants with the assistances of the non-incarcerated defendants. The non-incarcerated defendants received government checks and prepaid Visa debit cards in the mail. The non-incarcerated defendants then utilized ATM withdrawals, wire transfers, and mobile banking applications such as Zelle, Venmo, Green Dot, and Cash App to make the proceeds available to the incarcerated defendants. The indictment alleges the named defendants submitted COVID-19 unemployment applications in multiple states. Fraudulent benefit applications were filed in South Carolina, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Nevada, New Jersey, Missouri, Arizona, and California. In total, the fraudulent scheme resulted in a loss of approximately $5 million to the United States government. This extensive fraud scheme exploited and misused individuals' personal information, some unknowingly, for financial gain at the expense of American taxpayers, said Acting U.S. Attorney Brooke B. Andrews for the District of South Carolina. The individuals involved showed a complete disregard for the law and used deception, manipulation, and extortion to unlawfully obtain nearly $5 million in unemployment benefits. Our agencies remain committed to holding those responsible accountable and ensuring that such fraudulent schemes do not undermine public trust in vital government programs. Inmates using this brazen scheme stole millions of dollars from an effort to help everyday Americans survive the COVID-19 pandemic. SCDC Director Brian Sterling said, "It is shameful, and the taxpayers deserve better. I am grateful to everyone involved in bringing these defendants to justice." Each defendant faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison, a fine of up to $250,000, restitution, and 3 years of supervision to follow the term of imprisonment. United States District Sherry A. Lydon has accepted 29 guilty pleas and handed down sentences for 14 of the defendants thus far. The remaining defendants will be sentenced after the court receives and reviews a sentencing report prepared by the U.S. Probation Office. One defendant, Jessica Ann Howell, passed away, and another defendant, Christine Hankins, remains at large as a fugitive. On May 17, 2021, the Attorney General established the COVID-19 Fraud Enforcement Task Force to marshal the resources of the Department of Justice in partnership with agencies across government to enhance efforts to combat and prevent pandemic-related fraud. The task force bolsters efforts to investigate and prosecute the most culpable domestic and international criminal actors and assists agencies tasked with administering relief programs to prevent fraud by, among other methods, augmenting and incorporating existing coordination mechanisms, identifying resources and techniques to uncover fraudulent actors and their schemes, and sharing and harnessing information and insights gained from prior enforcement efforts.